crying? Don't you feel like crying? Come on, cry to me.
Ooh, oh, well, there's nothing could be sadder than a glass of wine alone. You know what I'm saying, Liz? Loneliness, loneliness, such a waste of your time. What do you think, Melissa?
Hey, but don't you ever have to walk alone?
Nah, you don't gotta walk alone.
You see, come on, take my hand. Baby, won't you walk with me?
Come on, baby, let's take a little walk. Woo! Walk like that. Walk like Rev Bobby. Show us how you walk, Rev. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh, she's getting low there. Yeah, you got a conga line right there. Ooh, when you're waiting for a voice to come round
In the night,
right,
there is no one.
right. Don't you feel like crying?
Don't you feel like crying?
Don't you feel like cry, 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 cry to me? Oh yeah! Woo! All right, stay up. Let's join in singing our congregational song. Woo! Take a look at the person next to you. Say, recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Ah, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, in every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in the honor of God and each other. We come together.
We come together. Woo! Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you and you and you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Ah, lift your voice and repeat after Melissa.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together.
We come together.
We come together. In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
Good morning. My name is Jackie, and I'm your platform practitioner this morning. I invite Janice to come to bring the candle to the altar at this time.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, I am. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, you let it shine.
And in this moment, feeling the vibration of the bell, seeing the vibration of the light, we come in this moment just giving thanks for this moment, giving thanks for the sense to know when to give thanks in this moment. The laughter and the love that has come through the doors, welcoming what is our yet to be. And in this moment, I am so grateful for this time, and so it is. And now we will do our affirmation together. The circle of love is complete here. This love includes all and is bound by unity. We journey together in that love, hand in hand. We sit in the presence of that love and see the face of God in all. Can we do that one more time? Just one more time. The circle of love is complete here. This love includes all and is bound by unity. We journey together in that love, hand in hand. We sit in the presence of that love and see the face of God in all. And so it is. And now I invite our hostess up.
Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to see all of you. I'm so glad you're here. Good morning, folks out there in Zoom land and those in Facebook land. My name is Carol Ann Perini, and I have the privilege and honor of being your host today. How are you all doing? Excellent, excellent. Why don't you say hello to the other godlings in this room? Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Isn't it wonderful to be able to see so many gorgeous faces, so many other godlings, and share our hearts with each other? So today, just by way of announcements, Reverend Bobby Becker will be our speaker. And she will have a special guest. Wait and see. Our music director, Lena Hayek. And Melissa and Des. Can you tell we missed you, Des? Of course, as you know, our platform practitioner is Jackie, and the practitioner who is holding vigil today is Janice. She also brought up the light. If you are new to our community, we are so glad you are here. And if you're people who come regularly, we are so glad you are here. There is a prayer card at the vestibule that you can fill out. And also, after church, after service, if you would like some prayer, you can meet over here with a practitioner. And so, without further ado, Debbie Ann.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Debbie Ann, and I am on the board of trustees at this beautiful center and this beautiful community. And I'm going to do some brief announcements. First thing we're going to do actually is let's read our mission together. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new strategies for a thriving spiritual center. That just feels good. That's a great mission. All right, our first announcement, Soul Sisters Women's Group. First Saturdays, that's coming up this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. with Doris Steinmetz. She's one of our practitioners here. We gather in this safe and loving space we call Soul Sisters. Each session includes some laughter yoga, a guided meditation, a place to share our good and ask for support. We always have fun. Please join them Saturday, August 5th at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. You can refer to your Waves of Joy newsletter for more information. There is no fee. However, love donations are always appreciated and support your prosperity consciousness. Next, the Circle is delighted to be hosting Coach Helen Yee to teach us all about numerology. Join the Circle and Helen on Saturday, August 19th at 1:30 p.m. to learn more about numerology, the fascinating mathematical system that can shift our understanding and expected outcomes and events of our lives from the mundane to higher purpose, our higher purpose. You're going to need to register on Eventbrite, and to find more information, you can refer to the Waves of Joy newsletter, or you can ask the host of the Circle, which is our very own practitioner, Valerie Day. So I'm going to be doing this. This sounds like a lot of fun. I'm now going to invite Reverend Bobby up here really quick for an exploration update.
So one of the things we're planning, of course, is to have these updates at least once a month and give you in service rather than a town hall the opportunity to hear what's happening through the unification. How many of you are kind of curious? Well, where are we? What's going on? So am I. Just kidding. So one of the things that is the bridge period, that's what we're calling it, began July 2nd. We're in one building as an operation, which is great, right? We've been doing activities, we've been having meetings, we've even been doing both Namaste, as of just this last week, Namaste and Seal Beach operations in the space. Some things still remain distinct, as in they're not necessarily operating solely as one. We have some what I would call back of the house items. And those include, we still have 2 separate boards. We have 2 separate financial accounts, set of accounts, and 2 separate systems by which we operate. So the boards get together and do a lot of conversation around how do we pay the things that come up through the week. But we are now sharing in all costs associated with being together. That's a really big thing. There's some decisions that you're going to see, such as the name is a temporary name. There are other things that are put in place that we'll announce, and if we don't announce and you say, or you go, hey, what's that? Make sure you ask one of us. Some of those things happen as a way of just operating. We need a way to operate in this bridge. So we're trying new things. Even the service, we're playing with different parts of the service. We can see what works. Our exploration cross teams and operating groups. Our welcome team is now in its creation with its leaders, which is Diane Ronner, Janine Cochran, and Lorraine Urbina. They are in it. Carol Ann is our production coordinator, and she works with me on Sundays, and she's in charge of our hosts. So some of you have already been sort of in our minds with respect to jumping up and participating. Carol Ann's been up here testing and working this out so that by the time those hosts get up here, they're not having to figure it out as much as we are. So that's part of that. We have a calendar team that's operating that meets once a month that goes over all events. And we have a brand new beautification team that is working on landscaping and cleaning up the property. So this is all very exciting. We also have an administrative and operations group that is figuring out, well, how does the minister operate within this? And how do we operate within these 2 groups that are still operating as one? But these have all been part of the exploration team. So there's a finance bridge and an admin operations and facilities. And we're going to be asking folks to sign up and help with move what's left over at Namaste's rental facility. In the next couple weeks, we want to get everything moved over here and complete that move. It's so exciting what's going on. Education, we've had great participation in education. We had 4 agreements, 2 classes. We have a mindfulness that started on June 6th and then on July 2nd, 2 separate groups. If you're like, wow, did I miss mindfulness? It's coming again in September, as well as the 4 agreements. Something else we're doing is after service last Sunday and after service today, we're talking about safety. And we're talking about safety from the big perspective of safety, which isn't just what you think about door locks and things like that, but how do we feel safe in community? How do we bring safety into community? And then coming soon, we're going to be visioning for the mission of this unified center. And there's a plan on August 27th to start visioning for the new name, to which we're going to create a team to do that, and the visioning is going to support that. Our home office has specific process for coming up with that name and what that name can be as well. So we'll be discussing that in the month of August and how that works. And then lastly, from the mission, a new structure will be put in place. We have a bridge structure right now. So that includes everything associated right now with where we're at. If you're new, stay tuned. Ask someone, what the heck are we doing here? But it's really 2 communities that decided to come together as one and collaborate rather than compete. How powerful is that, right? So thank you for your time. I'm also just going to take this next slide, which is visioning. This will be the last visioning for Rev Veronica. She's going to be actually creating a 4 agreements discussion group beginning in September. So as we're taking the classes and you want to discuss or bring challenges or situations that have to do with how you operate within the 4 agreements, The first Wednesday of every month is that discussion group. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Bobby. My favorite part, it's thank you time. We have always completely and utterly blessed by everybody that volunteers and participates in our community. So my first thank you is to our welcome team. Are they awesome? Are they? This team is newly created. They are present. They welcome us every Sunday, in addition to doing a lot of other things that we're probably not even aware of. So the leads are Lorraine, Diane, and Janine, and I am very grateful. So big thank you to them. I want to thank Dale and Tori. They were here yesterday, and Dale even did some work this morning up in the office. They were doing baseboards. They are just, in fact, he might still be there, doing, yes. Oh, there he is. I just saw him, he's joined us. But yes, a lot of background construction things going on, beautifying the office area. And I want to thank Marcia, who is taking care of our beautiful plants and flowers in front of the building and has been doing it for a long time. Thank you, Marcia. And a quick thank you to Harold Payne, who joined us last week, and that was amazing. Thank you, Harold. All right.
Thank you, WM. Appreciate it. This is our meditation song, so take whatever time you need, feel however way you want to feel, and just sit back, close your eyes, or leave them open, whatever you choose. Enjoy this moment and meditate on it.
When I forget we are one, and I regret the things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul, and I'll start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. And when things go wrong and my way is dark, when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment,
such resignation. It's almost like I don't need to say anymore. So, as I moved, sometimes we face what seem to be walls of circumstances made of stone. They speak to us. Let's listen, then speak back to them. Reverend Bobby. I remember a time when I was facing a stone wall, a wall that had engulfed my heart space. The thing had such an effect on me that I just couldn't see my way around it. Someone spoke these words to me at that time. Remember to say to yourself, I am not moved by what I see. The circumstances have to move, not me. That was about 40 years ago. I didn't understand those words until several years later, and they still resonate deep within me whenever that stone wall appears. Those of you who are gardeners may relate to the following. As I was working around the outside of my home, I noticed some stubborn weeds that were growing in cracks on the pavement. I had treated them to remove them a few days prior, and now it was time to get them out. Several had just taken up residence and didn't want to be removed easily. So I took it a little pulling to get them out, and once out, the root was strong and deep. Does this sound like some circumstances in your life? It surely hit home to me. Sometimes I need to do a treatment to move my mind space to another level of knowingness. Sometimes that thing has planted deep roots in my life, and I need to go deep and pull with all that I am to get the roots out and continue to be vigilant in that area to make sure they don't come back. Sometimes those irritating things come up in another area, and I must treat them again. Does this sound like something you may be familiar with? If that doesn't hit home, let me try another analogy. I like to work with my hands. I like to create. I like to build. Sometimes I use the wrong screw and the darn thing breaks off or I strip it. What was a simple thing has now turned into a wall. I may speak to it, but I can't repeat the words, the most flavorful words at this time. You know, sometimes one of those bombs is the only thing I can think of at the time to express my total frustration in the moment. And that's okay. Well, you get the picture. I then have to use another way to remove the screw. It can be removed, but it may take something different than I had initially started with. Bottom line is it's removable. As I move through this thing called life, I know that there will be weeds, there may be screws, there may be walls that seem like they are too wide to go around, so deeply planted that I can't go under them, and too high that I can't go over them. Yet there's something within that will never move, but can move anything, any circumstance that may come my way. The God in me as me through me is always present, never moving away, always, always there. A recipe for a healthy movement may need to be taken. Here is one I have found to work sometimes instantly, sometimes a little slower. Use a large bowl of spirit. Add equal parts of love, peace, joy, harmony, inclusion, diversity, and faith. Mix well and spread it evenly into the pan of community, and one will find that these weeds are being pulled, screws are being removed, and a newness that we have imagined is coming forth, shining as our candle together and individually. Many walls have appeared and many conversations have been had with those walls, and the words that flow through me are, speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. Give me the words that will bring new life. Words on the wings of the morning, the dark will fade away if you speak to my heart now. Donnie McClurkin, Listen with your heart's ears and speak the words that are divine. And so it is.
Wow, thank you, Jackie. The power of now is always present, nowhere to be. And where you are, power of now flows so gracefully. The power of now is always perfect, nothing to be than who you are. The power of now flows so easily. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now is overflowing, connecting us all to the one. The power of now unfolds so peacefully. So be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now.
Why are you guys shaking your head?
Someone said, uh-oh.
I I know. There was like more than one uh-oh. Did you notice that? Oh, look. Look here. What's this? Oh, you want some? Nothing.
Honey, stop. Close your mouth. Please.
I don't know that you were enough on that one. You want to try it again? You ready? Let me just try one.
Bobby, honey, please. That is frustrating. Please close your mouth.
All right, how many resonate with that exchange that just happened? Like, don't cheat. How many? Raise your hand. Come on. Let's try that again. Let me get some chips out of my teeth, though.
Bobby,
Yes, sweetie pie.
I know you're excited and the game is great and everything, or the movie is intense. Please close your mouth.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. I'm going to
Thank you.
be a little more conscious of that. I know I do that. So
Thank you.
thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Those are mine. Wait, I gotta have a drink of water. Ugh. Ugh. This is why when you ask me if I want something to eat before I speak, I say no. In a moment, this is gonna come on. So, is anything immovable? Everything. Everything is movable. Everything. There's a riddle. It's old. Chinese proverb, actually. It's what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Right? That's a paradox, and it can't be. There cannot be an immovable object and an unstoppable force. It's impossible. Something has to give. Has to. And what I heard Jackie say earlier is conditions, that the conditions have to change, not me. If that's how I live my life every day, I would be really miserable. I'd be pretty miserable. Sorry, chips. Because everything would have to change around me for me to be okay. And the task that we have in front of us is to first look within for when something is disturbing me. There are times when things are disturbing, no doubt. No doubt. But what is disturbing within me is what I get to look at. Because problem with that is, in this particular situation, it's so simple, right? In fact, I was listening to a guy who said if anybody could come up with a solution to not being annoyed at how someone chews, let's do a podcast on it. Right? So simple, right? In both situations, one is Janine's perspective of me chewing the chips. If she comes strictly from annoyance, strictly from how that feels to me, she's missing the point. If I, on my other end, expect Janine to tolerate the way I chew chips, that's not good either. There has to be movement. There has to be, oh, wow. Oh. There has to be movement on both sides. There has to be, even if it's a little, there has to be this. And so Rumi, the Sufi poet, said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't even matter if I'm truly, truly, my resistance is how I think things should be. Just is. And it is because each one of us in this room have come from a different background. Every one of us have not had the same background. But absolutely every person in this room has been affected by life. And that effect in life, every one of us, none of us are excused from that. We've had pains and heartbreaks and sorrows. We've been disappointed. We've been dismissed. We've been ignored. We have been not seen. We may have experienced child abuse or domestic abuse of any other kind. We all felt the pandemic. And even those that say, oh, it was great. Oh, man, it was awesome. Yeah, I want to talk to them about that one. It wasn't. Life isn't like that. Life shows up all the time. And here's what happens every Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning, each one of us walk in that door with whatever unmet need we have. Every one of us. Consciously, unconsciously, that's what we do. And we react and respond from that unmet need. Whether it's I didn't get love, or I got my heart broken this week, or I had an issue at work, or I have a child that is struggling, or a spouse, or a partner, or a friend. Every one of us walk in the door from the effect of an event. And that unmet need in that event is where we can bring our awareness to. So when I sit in this chair, every one of us are having a different experience, right? Every one of you see me, and you can look at me and you can decide what and who I am. You can decide what color my hair is, whether you like the pattern on my blouse, whether you like the shoes I show up in, whether you like the tone of my voice, whether you agree or don't agree with what I say. Whether she chews chips in a way that I never want to see again. We all come in with that. And the challenge we have as in community is to become more and more conscious of that as we walk in these doors. And the very actions we take when we walk in these doors tells us what unmet need we have. Okay, now hold on, folks. I'm not, for what I'm about to say, I want you to just think about it. For those of you that do this, because I do this too, I sit in the same seat every Sunday. Don't take that wrong. Why do I do that? Because I like consistency and structure. I go and get a cup of coffee the first thing I walk in. I go say hi to the same person every Sunday that I love to say hi to. And when I don't see that person when I walk in the door, I'm like, where are they? When there's, 100 other people in the room, right? From a standpoint, it seems, just perfectly reasonable. But my unmet needs are in there, working me, building and characterizing my perception of everything that I come in contact with. Everything. And I've been really sitting down and looking at just even my own unmet need and the ways in which I respond in the world and the ways in which I can break that down so that when I walk in the door, that I'm not high on expectation, and I'm not talking high on expectation, where I'm less about expectation, and where I'm more about So what can happen today? What can happen today to support me in my journey? And how can I also be there to support that for another? I mean, it is my job. Is it just mine? No, it's not. There are so many times in life that we cannot see what is happening. And what we see that is happening comes from events and circumstances and our perceptions of them over time. I imagine that we have absolute habits in what we react to. I have this really interesting aversion, get ready, to people that trim their nails in public. You think that's funny, right? Because it is. Except, and some will say, well, why would they trim their nails in public? I swear, when I rode the train to Los Angeles, when I worked in LA, every car I got on, someone was trimming their nails. I'm thinking, what the heck, man? Seriously, do they follow me? I had experiences in my childhood, and as I return to those experiences and what that is, I'm not going to get into it because don't even want to talk about it. That all plays in part of it. It's one thing to go, oh, that's just awful, but I'm telling you that the sound is like fingernails on a chalkboard for me. That's kind of a funny coincidence. Fingernails, trimming nails. I'm just gonna. But the thing about it is, it's that harsh for me. I have aversions to loud noise, and I don't like loud music, except when I'm dancing. Then I'm all about it. Bring it, right? And I've thought about that trimming nail for years, and I thought that's absolutely reasonable for me to feel that extreme about it. Well, it's not. It's not. It comes from something. It's up to me to determine that, because I'm sure the person trimming their nails on the train was a very nice person that I miss talking to. And for me, I'm afraid it's going to fly on me and all sorts of things, right? What I'm saying is that perspective actually ruined some of my trips in the morning, where I had to move throughout the train, lose a seat, train's packed, I had to stand half the way. There were all sorts of ways in which I tried to mitigate the situation, to which I suffered. Pain times resistance was suffering. And when I say suffering, I was not very nice at the end of that train ride. And that's what I mean by it. It wasn't about the person doing it, it was my perspective of it, the way I characterized and was unaware in it. And the challenge we have is we have an upstairs brain and a downstairs brain, right? Upstairs brain, high functioning, downstairs brain is lower functioning, they call it. I actually don't think that's true, it's how we use it. The downstairs brain actually tells us when things are not safe. If we've been traumatized, we stay in the downstairs brain for certain events. There's no way we can move to that upper brain and plan and think about it in a reasonable way. We'll stay down in the downstairs brain. So imagine I'm in the downstairs brain whenever that happens, and I'm trying to protect myself, which means that something in my past kind of structured my wiring in a way that wasn't helpful, because what happened because of a childhood incidents is that it became fight or flight and adjusting and moving to things that have nothing to do with my safety. And when we play in the downstairs brain, which is where fight or flight, where we react to things, where we get frustrated, where we get angry, where we get annoyed. Annoyance isn't up here. It's right down here. When I'm annoyed or any of those, I have learned that response. I have practiced that response. And unless I can move up the staircase that has been wired with exactly my continual confirming behavior, if I can't see that some of this is about me, then I will continue to be completely tortured and terrorized by nail trimming. I imagine you can probably identify something in your own life that continues to be annoying, to which you react to which you blow up at someone, to which you are annoyed at someone, to which you act at that lower level of emotional maturity. Now, judging yourself harshly is also down here, okay? So let's take a deep breath. And get in that breath for just a moment. Mark Nepo tells a story. He said that in his Book of Awakening, he said, we were up early, eager to see the botanical gardens of Montreal, where they have the largest bonsai collection in the world outside of Asia. We strolled up toward the Chinese temple gardens, a lush yet simple retreat from the streets that covers acres, a place of renewal originally constructed in the 1600s in China and moved stone by stone to Montreal in 1990. They came up to this gate, a massive gate, and he panicked because it was locked and it looked like there was no way in, and they had come 400 miles to get in. So imagine how you'd feel, kind of like the nail trimming, right? Panicked, annoyed, frustrated, angry. Oh my gosh, I've driven all this way. He said the thought made me cranky. He was frustrated, and suddenly who he was with started to walk down alongside the wall, and it turned out the garden really had no wall. It was just a facade. And they simply walked through the grass to a path that welcomed them. And how many thresholds that seem blocked or barred or locked is only from how I see something. I do it all the time. Can I catch myself? How often can I catch myself? How I see things is the lesson. My discomfort in anything is the place I get to look. If I'm frustrated with someone in this community, am I going to blame it on them? No matter what it is, am I going to blame it on the other? And that's the opportunity that we get to look at that. Does that annoy you? It can. Don't shut the door, Florian. Leave it open. It's good practice. When we're challenged with something, even small, our ability to move up right now. Couldn't even plan that better. Right? The simple answer, too, is we have to trust ourselves. We have to trust that there's something that knows better, that knows different, that can open to that knowing that everything is movable. So I'm going to close with a poem. Let me say this before we go. Trusting life doesn't mean that my worst fears don't come true. It's that even when my greatest fears do come true, I will be supported enough to be able to show up. So think of that as I read this poem. The way the field holds the shadow of the cottonwood, this is how life holds me. The way the field holds the shadow of the cottonwood, this is how life holds me. Holds me no matter my shape. Holds me no matter my effort, holds my darkness and knows it, as weightless, as transient, as something that will shift, disappear, return, and shift again. It never says no to me. It never says no to me. I'm still learning to trust life, to trust no matter how I show up, I will be held. Trust that my life is not a problem. Trust that as much as I am the shadow, I am also the field. Trusting life doesn't mean that my worst fears don't come true. It's that even when my greatest fears do come true, I will be supported enough to be able to show up. And so it is. Now you can close it.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I put for nothing, I sell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. I hear my voice, you hear my sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up, already 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I've got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 you're gonna hear me roar. I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I learned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear my sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up, get ready 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I've got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than an iron. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 you're gonna hear me roar. Eye of the tiger, fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Running through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar.
Roar! Right? Roar! Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Bobby. Thank you, Janine, for putting Reverend Bobby in her place. You know, never mind those potato chips. I would like today's ushers, Maria, Cindy, Lorraine, and Vivian, to come forward, please. This is our opportunity to, oh, okay, we have different ones. We have Mike and Diane and Maria and Lorraine, right? As a stakeholder, this is our offering time, and as a stakeholder, oh, the dog wants to give too. It is important to me that I support the potential, as Debbie Ann suggested, the potential. And gratitude is one of the practices that brings each of us a sense of connectiveness and ownership. I made these notes because it was really important to me that I share this with you. And then through the practice of giving, the foundation of our mission is supported, lives are changed, and the vibration of love and care is spread through each of us and then out into the world. What a better legacy than that can we ever give. So if you would please say our mission together. I freely and gratefully give from the abundance that is me. We have great capacity for living, loving, and giving. I give today from joy and gratitude, and so it is. And so these are the ways that you can give. The ladies are, and Mike are passing the basket. But also, please, you can use PayPal, you can use Give Plus, you can do Venmo, you can write a check, you can have your bank send a check. But you'll have to pay for it. So please, share abundantly as you can and as you feel led.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only thing you see, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. If the sky we look upon, yeah, should tumble and fall, and the mountains crumble to the sea. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
Woo. Stand by me. Let's welcome in the children. Do we have children today? Do we have children? That's right, Karen. Clap, Karen. There she goes.
just started picking up that pace there. Good morning. My absolute favorite moment. I just love looking out here. Yeah, give yourself a hand for showing up this morning. Yes. So, a couple of us made it up here. A couple of us ended up back in the audience. So, it was my understanding that you guys talked about moving stones or obstacles. I'm not sure if I got that quite right, but as children, when we see rocks or stones, we want to just throw them in the water, or if we see a big boulder, we just want to climb that boulder. And today we decided to take rocks and think about what we really love about this summer, what we're enjoying, and we painted on those rocks. And unfortunately, we don't have those to show you because they're back across the parking lot drying right now, but we had a good time painting rocks. And Gabe is going to go ahead and tell you what makes him happy and what he painted on his rocks.
What I drew on my rock and what makes me happy, I drew on my rock my family. And the second one, I just colored my two favorite colors, one side blue, one side pink.
Awesome. I thought I saw a baseball. You covered that up. There was a baseball, and then that got covered up with pink. So, yeah, because the pens were a lot of fun to play with. So the more ink, the better. And Mr. Ian's rock was like amazing. Do you want to share?
Sure. I just tried to draw my dream. It's partly like blue or purple, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, think about what makes you happy, what you're loving about this summer, and go find a rock and paint on it. Yes. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
So let's open the circle. Janice, would you come forward, please? This gesture of taking the light out of our community represents the light that each of us share as we move out into the world. So I encourage you to take your light and let your light shine, as beautiful as you are. And Reverend Bobby, would you please lead us out?
Okay. Thank you. I was just waiting for an unpause, unmute, whatever it is, right? I was waiting for it to move. Or was I moving? Ah, there it is. So I just invite you to stand as we close our service today in gratitude for all that has unfolded and happened. All right, take a deep breath, folks. If the energy feel like it went, right? We're going to build it up just a little bit, right? So, is there something going on in your life? Yes. Really? Is there? Okay. There's something happening called life, right? There's something happening all around us, our beautiful youth here. There's something happening all the time. So we get to close with this idea of, well, what is happening right now? Is there something happening? What is it? Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Don't miss out, Des. I know. What is it called? It is this thing called life. Look at Melissa's face. Where is it? Life is in my mind. Where? Life is in my body. And? Life is all that I am. And? Life is all that we are. What am I going to do with it? I accept it. Hold on. What's next? I am it. And? I share it with all. Now, this is kind of key because I was thinking about this earlier this morning. Keep going. I was thinking about it earlier this morning, and I was thinking about, am I conscious about how I share it? So when someone's eating chips and I'm annoyed, or I'm eating chips and I don't realize that my mouth is open, or whatever it is, that's me sharing life. Uh-oh. So now we're going to say the next line from that vantage, which is, do I share it any old way? How do I share it? And give me some big. Now, within you, this gratitude for all that is. If you got something out of today, raise your hand. If you got something out of today, how amazing is that? You were awake, right? You were alive. You were in it. And that's to be grateful for. And look around this room at all these beautiful godlings, the faces of God that have decided to show up both here and online and everywhere on the planet. So feel that gratitude for all that is, all that has happened, all that you got, all that you will give. So on the count of 3, say it from that place, right? 1, 2, 3. Thank
There we go. Yeah, when the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. What do I choose? That's right. When the world starts spinning around, I choose joy. What do I choose? That's right. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost its groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. Tell me what I choose. That's right. Sing it with me then. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Sing it again, yeah. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. One more time, yeah. Joy, 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 joy. I'm gonna give it to Des. Des, tell me what you choose. Joy. Sing it again, yeah. Joy, joy, joy. Last time, bring it home. Joy, 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 joy. Where's your jazz hand? There you go. I choose. Melissa, what do you choose?
I choose joy.
What do you choose? I choose joy. Have an awesome rest of your week. We will see you next week.